it's just been a great season. Been a great season of football. Looking forward to the parade down Lafayette. And it's time for the NFL Blitz segment here at Mojobreak.com. And we're going to talk about Week 10 stars. And I assumed it was going to be McCaffrey, Mitchell, Garoppolo, Hufanga. But we've got a cast of characters on here.
I tried not to be biased when I
don't want to look
together.
at your monitor.
I tried not to be biased when I put together these Week 10 stars. I was tempted to pick a Niner. But, look, I will start off by eating crow here. I was dead wrong about the Dallas Cowboys. I said they're going to go to Green Bay, and they're going to absolutely just absolutely, whoop them. They're going down, and it didn't happen. Aaron Rodgers came back.
Didn't happen.
Aaron Rodgers threw only 20 passes, but he's back.
I said the Chargers were going to beat the 49ers, and they very well could have.
I guess we're all wrong.
If Gerald ever didn't get hurt.
We were all wrong.
There's one guy that's usually always right here, and it's not C-Red who's not sitting here. It's the other guy in the band. But Justin Jefferson, I wanted to highlight, guys. Is it time to take notice on receivers? I mean, Justin Jefferson, the catch that's arguably as good as ODB, maybe harder to catch.
It's the catch of the year at this point. I think when you put it in the context of what that meant in the game and the opponent they were playing, it's definitely the catch of the year for me. Okay, Dan.
No. I mean, I know we're talking, and if we're gonna talk about the Bills Vikings game, which was from an entertainment standpoint,
most
probably
game of the week.
Probably one of the most exciting games that we're ever going to see.
Yeah, maybe of the year. Actually,
maybe the game of the year. So definitely the game of the year.
The
so
Bills
far.
are like they're like get your popcorn because we had the Chiefs last year, Bills in the playoffs.
With the game over, and I know you're at the 1 inch line, but the game over, how do you fumble the ball in the end zone?
Right.
I mean that.
Well, when you have
that is something the Rams would do.
Well,
that is
when it's butt ass cold and your UCL is hanging off. It's probably hard to basically.
No. That dude played a solid game, slinging it around.
Well, we don't know.
He was not injured. We
don't know if the cortisone was wearing off in the fourth quarter there or overtime, whatever we were playing in.
You literally have one job: not to fumble the ball in the end zone. The game is over. The game is over. You have one job. Don't fumble it in the end zone. You fumbled it in the end zone.
Could it have been the center's fault? Maybe it hit his butt on the way out? I don't know.
Center, quarterback, doesn't matter.
Right.
And if the ball hits the ground, somebody better get it.
Can we start to talk? Can this conversation begin? Is Josh Allen actually that guy? Does he deserve all the hype he has gotten in this hobby, considering how he has performed, especially the last few weeks, especially against top-tier opponents, where he just hasn't shown up and has made really costly mistakes.
After the fumble, he goes out there
throws a pick.
No, he drove down the field to get a field goal. Right?
No, they threw a pick to end the game because the Vikings.
No, I'm saying to get the Vikings when they recovered there was still time on the clock.
Sure.
Buffalo had to go down and score.
Yes.
Yeah.
To send it into overtime.
But he did ultimately.
And he basically drove the team down
right.
after fumbling the ball in the end zone.
But you're right. How did the game end? He threw a pick in the end zone, and it was over. So, look, I still think
I thought they were going to.
Wow.
I thought they had that game in the bag because Vikings kicked a field goal, and I'm like, oh, that's it. It's over.
Right.
Oh, well, I thought they had it in the bag.
I know.
When only thing they didn't have to just don't fumble the ball in the end zone.
How many tables were broken after that?
Actually, none, because it was not his time to celebrate.
The table
stay intact.
That happens in the tailgate before the game,
but not after. They don't just be like, oh, we have tables left over.
No, well. Okay.
I brought extras.
Okay. Time out. I need you to think about that for a second, because you've been to a tailgate before, right?
Yeah.
You've been to a tailgate?
Sure.
Okay. So when you get done,
you
just leave your tables out there and go to the game?
No, you put them in the car, but you can take them back out.
You don't know. Nobody
break them.
Nobody goes, okay, I just packed up. I'm going to pull my table out just so people could jump on it. That all those activities.
I've never been to Buffalo. I don't know what they do over there. I just hear they break tables.
I've never been either, but I'm confident it happens.
Well,
before the game.
If you want to know what they do in Buffalo, the fact that they are breaking tables, like that is their number one activity, tells you what there is to do in Buffalo.
I gotta.
No disrespect to the good folks of
Buffalo. Speaking of tailgates, speaking of Buffalo, I don't know if I told you guys this, but I did go to the opening night Buffalo Rams game. Right.
That was a great game.
It was a good half, a good first half, and then it got real bad. But we were sitting there hanging out at tailgate with my club, and Bills fans came over and they were trying to jump through our table.
No.
Yes.
Oh, no.
They're all. Can we jump through your table? Can we jump? And we're like,
No, that's not real.
100%.
No.
100%.
I believe it.
100%. Guy tried to do it too, and he
believe
actually it was one of those plastic tables that we have, and it just like didn't do anything, and he just fell like slid off of it, and he just got up and just walked away. One of our club guys was like, he was about ready to go after him. He's like, what are you doing? He's like, what are you doing? Why are you doing this?
How many injuries happened? I mean, you
I don't know. They're built different.
I guess so, man.
They're
built different.
They're built different.
Built different.
But
I wouldn't.
I don't know.
Work.
What do Niner fans do at tailgates?
Sip our wine and eat
No,
our fancy cheeses.
not anymore. That was the good old days.
If you talk to the people outside of this area,
that
they're
was
like,
the good old days
yeah.
in Hunters Point.
That's right.
when you would basically sip wine.
That's right. Oh,
and eat fancy cheese.
Oh,
No,
yeah. Brats and beers. No. It's about goat cheese and Pinot Noir, baby.
We sip greatness. We eat greatness because we are greatness. That's what it is. I mean, anything that's done there is greatness.
That had nothing.
Do you have a ride at your you can go get on a ride?
You can go on Top Gun.
Like you can get on a ride.
You cannot go. You can't actually.
Maybe
You
not now,
could.
but
You could 2 years ago. Now you can't.
You can go see Snoopy.
You can't though.
Yeah, no,
you can't. You.
And those days are going to be long gone in about 10 years. Who knows? I don't know.
was
That's
good time.
weird.
What do you do at a Niner game?
I don't know. I walk to the game. I don't know. I don't participate in tailgate activities, but there's a lot of barbecuing.
Yeah.
We probably have better club names than like Ram Nation or whatever you guys have your names out there.
There probably
Club.
there probably is a Ram. I could guarantee you there's a Niner Nation club.
No, there is. There's 100%.
I mean I don't know where they came up with that name.
So just to be clear how we're feeling, I've not looked up Josh Allen's prices. I'm sure they're still really
We're still
really
talking
high.
about sports cards?
Yeah, that's right. I don't know if you know what this podcast is about.
Oh, that's right.
But I don't know. I think there's going to be not huge, but I think especially the last couple of weeks, he's starting to kind of like he has not looked as great, I think, as maybe some folks would like him to like to believe he can be in these huge situations. So I think the hype on Allen is going to start to die down a little bit.
Who have I been saying?
And they're not in the playoffs as of today. They would not be in the playoffs right now.
The Bills.
Yes, I believe so.
Really?
Yeah. I believe the Jets have the tiebreaker.
I'll take Josh Allen.
Yeah.
On my team.
I mean, yes. Don't get me wrong.
Let's over Wolford, yeah.
Right.
Let's roll over Garoppolo. I mean,
no, of course.
Thank you, Cody. Thank you.
Again, somebody says to me right
Mr.
now,
Lance over here is like trying to figure out what he does. He's all, do I love Jimmy Garoppolo right now? Do I hate Jimmy Garoppolo right now?
I don't know if you guys remember like 3 or 4 episodes ago, and it was obviously the Patty Mahomes hater over here that had me, and he's not here to defend himself today. But I was saying Patrick Mahomes is the guy.
Yeah, he's the guy.
And clearly he's the guy, head and tails above, the best record in the AFC, and the most... Out of all the quarterbacks in the NFL, all 32, he is the guy. If you are putting your money somewhere as an investor or as somebody that wants a legendary card, it's clearly Patrick Mahomes. And, obviously, you have Aaron Rodgers, you have Tom Brady, but those are, they're in the tail end of their career. The guy that has the most potential in his career right now is clearly Patrick Mahomes.
I actually looked something up because I was actually going to start to make the argument, because maybe it's just because of the room we're in where I'm like, is Patrick Mahomes actually underrated? Which, again, it's because we do a podcast every week with C-Rad saying, Pat Mahomes not the guy. Come on now.
Scrub.
What are you talking about? And then I actually had to look it up. I'm like, wait a minute. Am I crazy or something? And no, he is... I think it said if through their first 6 seasons, he's 20 touchdowns behind Dan Marino for the most in their first 6 seasons. But that's counting. He only played that one game in his first season where he didn't even. I think he threw like 5 or 6 passes. So really, he has the most touchdowns ever for a guy through his first 5
seasons. And you can't say, hey,
Tyreek
Hill. That's why he's got Tyreek Hill.
Right.
He's got a whole new cast besides Kelsey. I know Kelsey's still there,
yeah.
But he's got a new cast. He's making it happen again.
I get that, but how much?
Oh, Andy Reid?
Andy Reid has Patrick Mahomes' success. Some of it has to go to Andy Reid.
What did he do in Philly? He didn't do anything in
He
Philadelphia.
brought a team to the Super Bowl, and they were consistently one of the best teams
Donovan
in the
McNabb
NFC.
was one of the best quarterbacks of that era when he was there.
The Eagles were a really good team when he was in charge.
Did you
Let's be
literally just? They were the best team for like 5 years.
They're really good.
But
If
if you
you're-
couldn't get over the
They
hump.
were my go-to team in Madden.
If you're
for
thinking
many.
of hobby and somebody's like, I'm going to give you, this is like a weird take here, but if I'm going to give you $100,000, you got to pick one player and you're going to put it away for 10 years and you're going to pull it out. No question, right?
It's Mahomes.
No question.
Yeah, of the modern guys for sure.
Yeah,
I think.
I'll agree with that. I mean, that's not a weird or crazy. Take.
Well, telling
It's
somebody,
not.
I mean,
It's
the
not.
weird scenario is somebody giving you $100,000 and then you putting away for 10 years.
I guess
that's
the
I mean,
better.
well, Brady.
I think the better question.
I mean,
would
Brady.
be,
Brady is like
proven already.
proven. There's
Right,
nothing
right.
Brady is going to be able to do that's really going to affect his prices too much. Like,
Right.
even if they don't make the playoffs and Brady retires, Brady is still Brady.
So let's take Brady and let's say Aaron Rodgers out of the equation. Let's just take them out of the equation here. So Mahomes is like number one. I want to know who's that second guy there.
Big fall off because for one,
Because I think a lot
let
of
me
people
say
would've
this
said Josh
again
Allen.
too. Russell Wilson is not a Hall of Famer. He keeps showing you guys.
He is.
Are you guys still on that stoop?
Yeah, he's still
You get one
there.
Super Bowl. Is Trent Dilfer a Hall of Famer?
Okay, dude, you cannot compare
we
Trent
doing? What
Dilfer
is-
to Russ.
we doing this again?
How many MVPs does Trent Dilfer have?
I don't know. How many does Russell have?
He has at least one. I
Oh, I don't know actually.
believe he does.
Let me look it up.
Look it up. He does. If he doesn't, then
He's still a
apparently
Hall
I
of
have no
Famer.
idea what I'm talking
He's
about. He
still
is a Hall of Famer. There's no doubt. Comparing Russell Wilson to Trent Dilfer is ridiculous.
No MVPs.
No
No
MVP.
MVPs,
Pretty-
exactly.
he got pretty close a couple years though.
Super Bowl champion, a Walter Payton Man of the Year, 9-time Pro Bowler.
If he didn't have an MVP, there was years that he was the best quarterback in the league.
A career passer rating of 100.9.
How many touchdowns?
They
He's
don't
got
look good
299.
right now.
Could
And
we?
He is probably done.
Okay, are we gonna since Trent Dilfer
But see-
and Russell Wilson compare the stats?
Well, but here's the thing. You're just sitting back there going like, well, I don't know if it's Patrick Mahomes, it's Andy Reid.
Do you-
But
how
then
much-
you go Russell Wilson. You don't want to give Pete Carroll
many-
any credit.
how many
You wanna be
years-
like, oh, it's just Russell Wilson. He's great.
How many years does Russell Wilson still have? Like
yeah.
Okay.
4 years.
Now, here is one scenario where I'm like, maybe this is on the coach. One, because Pete Carroll, I think you're right. This year proving Pete Carroll, very good football coach. Something I think we all knew, but to see them separated it kind of makes it really stark. And also, who's the coach for the Broncos? I forget his name. The new guy,
Young guy.
terrible.
Hackett.
Absolutely,
Hackett?
Hackett, more like hack.
Hack.
Absolutely awful. Like he needs to be. I don't know why they didn't just say, you know what, this isn't working halfway through
Yeah.
the season. He is a bad coach.
Bring
So
in like a Jeff Saturday character there. That
you
was
bring in somebody
doing
with real
analysis.
head coaching experience and
Just bring in Elway.
Bring in Elway.
Just bring in Elway.
And you know what? It has all been leading to that. Since he retired, he's been trying to figure out the secret sauce. He made it work once. He needed Peyton Manning, but he made it work
And he
once.
tried to replicate it again, and it is so far looking like
It's
a
not
failure.
looking great right now.
With a great defense too, and they're 3-6. They just lost to Tennessee.
I don't understand how you could say Russell Wilson isn't a Hall of Famer.
because he's
definitely-
proving it over and over again.
One, like getting into the Hall of Fame in football is not like getting into the Hall of
There-
Fame in baseball.
There are
There-
worse
I mean-
quarterbacks in the Hall of Fame
He's
right
won
now
one
than
Super
Russell
Bowl. You look at his stats. He's got 26.
Dan Marino won none.
26
and he's
and
still
10.
one of the greatest quarterbacks of all time.
Yeah, but his stats are insane. I mean,
Sure.
like, if you look at let's look at Russell Wilson, 26-10 in 2012, 26-9, 20-7, 34-8, 21-11, 34-11, 35-7, 31-5.
What numbers are you rattling
TD
off here?
touchdowns,
Okay,
Those are
like,
good numbers.
Those are good. Those are all good
He's
numbers.
barely.
but
He's only thrown a little bit over 4,000 yards a couple times, like 3-4 times.
what's his career record?
He is 107-58.
I mean,
But
yes.
that's not Pete Carroll.
Legion of Boom, Pete
It doesn't
Carroll.
matter.
The defense didn't play.
Legion of Boom, Pete Carroll. I get it. But also, I know the passer rating is among the best of all time.
What is
at
his
this
passer
point.
rating?
It's 100. It's over 100. There are a few quarterbacks in the league who
If
can
you
say
could
that.
have Russell Wilson or Jimmy Garoppolo right now, and how good are the Niners if they have Russell Wilson?
I mean, I would like to see what Shanahan can do
They,
with
they
Russell.
are. I know it hurts, Doug.
like-
I know it
and he's been
hurts.
better-
The
and he's been
Niners
better.
are a better team with Russell Wilson than they are Jimmy Garoppolo.
Wait, what was his QB rating?
I think it's a career passer rating of 100.9.
Well, Jimmy's is 99. So it's not that far of a difference.
With how many more games played, though?
He's 37 and 17. So yeah, there's a lot more games.
There's a lot more games under his belt.
What's Jimmy Garoppolo's career record?
37 and 17. Hall of Famer.
37 and 17?
Yes.
Yeah, it's actually pretty.
How long has he been in the league for?
I know. It's actually kind of insane that it feels like he hasn't been in the league.
37 and what?
17.
I don't know how.
Does he play 2 games a year?
Yeah, I don't
Jimmy
know.
Garoppolo has been like in the league for like 20 years.
Yeah, that's right.
Well,
No, 14 and 15 he didn't play. Then he played 2 games in 16. He played
he
5
has
games
played
in 17.
he's played in less than 50 games.
No, that's true. We'll do the math.
Yeah.
Well, no, wait,
Yeah,
30,
that's
no, you're
54.
right. Yeah.
37 and what?
17.
Okay, so just a little over 50.
Yeah. You act like I was like way off.
Yeah, that's about right.
He has played 54 games in his NFL career. He was drafted in 2014.
Guy gets hurt. And also didn't play a lot in his first few years.
Yeah.
Had this guy named Tom Brady ahead of him.
Russell Wilson is 100 and something.
Russell Wilson is only 2 years older than Jimmy Garoppolo.
and he was drafted in 2000. Let that sink in.
Yeah, he's played 160.
Jimmy Garoppolo is good for
166
4
games.
games, 5 games a year.
Well, I'm not going to say anything, knock on wood.
Wow.
Now we can move on past Russell Wilson.
Why?
Time will tell. Time will tell if he's a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall.
He has 10 more years like this. He's not a Hall of Famer.
He's a Hall of Famer.
Okay,
Patrick Mahomes.
He isn't not playing 10 more years.
No, probably not.
It's ridiculous because, Cody, you get that. Like, Russell Wilson retires when he is eligible for the Hall of Fame. He is a first ballot Hall of Famer,
Hall of Famer.
without question.
Am I crazy? Can you guys tweet us? Tweet
without
us.
question.
Tweet us out. Mojobreak _com or Mojobreak Media. Tweet us out.
I think
I want your opinion on this. Like these guys act like I'm drinking the sippy juice this morning. Or
You
something.
100% are.
I like. What are we seeing? What has he done? Did he give you a
In
gift?
football.
What has he done?
Did he give you a Christmas gift?
In football, you get 10 years at an elite level, which Russell Wilson had. He had a Super Bowl win in the middle. You have that stretch of 10 years as a quarterback. You are a Hall of Famer. Period. End of story. That's it. Hell, and again, this is why I make the Steve Young comparison. He has a similar career
The thing
trajectory.
is, and I think
they
it's
have a
biased
very
opinion, 'cause
similar
when
career.
Russell Wilson was in Seattle, he was slanging it. He kind of had the Niners number.
He definitely did.
So I think this is where the bias is
Nah.
coming to the forefront.
No.
It's like Doug dislikes Russell Wilson. There's no doubt. There's no doubt. And that's fine. That's fine. But you cannot deny that he is a first ballot, no doubt, Hall of Famer. And you're going to look back and go, Russell Wilson, when he played in his era, was one of the best quarterbacks out there year in and year out.
Yeah.
He was barely in the top 10. I'm serious. He's better than Brady.
I think you're mixing up
He's
him
better-
with Dak Prescott right
he played with Peyton Manning. Is he better than Peyton Manning?
Okay.
he
Matt
bet-
Matt
I
is
mean,
Matt
Drew Brees?
now.
Drew
Is
Brees?
Matt Stafford a Hall of Famer?
No, absolutely not.
I think it's still up for debate. I will say this: after the Super Bowl, I was more on the trending towards Hall of Fame.
Now,
Now,
Matt Stafford
I
has
don't
a butt ton more yards. A butt ton. Like, he has a 5,000 yard season.
Right, helps to also throw to Calvin Johnson all those years, but that's not his fault. Like, I'm not gonna hold that against
He is
him.
89 and 100, but he has 51,000 yards.
This year?
Well, no.
Last year.
If only.
2011, he had 5,000 yards, and he's hovered over 4,000 yards pretty much every season, except for seasons.
And he has a championship now.
He has
He's
one
gotta win.
championship now, but he's 89 and 100.
It's going to be one of the. To me, he falls into like he is a better statistical version of like the Eli Manning debate.
I think because you take the body of work with Matt Stafford, the body of work of Russell Wilson, I do agree. I mean, taking my Homer hat off for a second, I do. Russell Wilson, without a doubt. When you talk about Hall of Fame, he definitely has a leg up on Matt Stafford.
Yeah.
What about Matt Ryan?
No,
That's a tough one.
not a Hall of Famer.
I don't know.
Dude,
I don't know.
It's a good thing that
We
Doug
forget
doesn't-
how good
It's a good
he
thing
was.
that Doug doesn't have a vote for Hall of Famers because nobody get in.
I think we
It'd
really
be like every year, like, sorry, nobody gets in this year.
if they had won that Super Bowl, I don't think we would even be asking that question. I think we would be like, yes, of course he's a Hall of Famer. Do you remember the 2016 season? That was one of the great offensive seasons any quarterback's ever had.
He also had Julio Jones.
He also had Julio Jones. He had a lot of great weapons around him.
But my whole thing is you got to be in the top 5 of your peers during your era, and he wasn't.
And there was a time where Matt Ryan, I think for about a
Matt
4
Ryan,
or 5 year
and
period, was
this
top
one I
5.
think I will get correct. Matt Ryan did have an MVP.
Yes, that was the 2016 season.
Yeah.
So if you would put all that together, where the Falcons were as good as they should have won that Super Bowl, and Matt Ryan won the MVP. I don't even think we'd be talking about it. I think we'd be like, yeah, he's probably a Hall of Famer.
They have the top 25 since 2000 quarterbacks, and actually have Matt Ryan ranked higher than Russell Wilson. So is Matt Ryan or Russell Wilson better than Tom Brady? No. Drew Brees, no. Peyton Manning, no. Aaron Rodgers, no. Phillip Rivers, no. Kurt Warner, no. Right?
Kurt Warner.
Okay.
I mean, yeah.
So, and again,
Ben Roethlisberger?
This is hard. This is hard for me.
I don't think Ben Roethlisberger is as good a quarterback as he won Super
Eli
Bowls.
Manning?
You want to talk about a guy who benefited
This
from
is
his
hard
team.
for me because Kurt Warner's in the Hall of Fame.
As he should be.
Yeah, as he should be.
You look at his career stats.
And I went against him.
He really started playing later in his career. His stats really don't line up to Matt Stafford's stats. They don't really line up to Russell Wilson's stats.
I think the big heavy lifting there is the fact that he came in as a shocker and won the Super Bowl with the Rams, and then later in his career brought the Cardinals to the Super Bowl.
So his pathway to success has to do with him getting into the Hall of Fame. It's how he did it more than the stats.
I totally think that's
Well,
the case.
here's an interesting guy. They have 5th on this list, Phillip Rivers.
Philip, look at the stats.
Phillip Rivers is a Hall of Famer.
Incredible stats.
I agree. I agree. But he's very similar to Dan Marino, right? Where he didn't get a chip at the end of his career.
I actually think Matt Ryan makes the Hall of Fame. I think Matt Stafford makes the Hall of
was this
Fame.
basketball Hall
I
of
think
Fame or
Russell
what?
Wilson makes the Hall of Fame.
Yeah. I think, like I said, the only guy
Obviously,
I think,
Drew Brees.
Drew
Brees is
mean,
no doubt, right? You're
Right.
gonna
No,
jump in on that.
you
have some kind of
he's
weird
second in
personal
all-time
vendetta
stats,
against Drew
and he has
Brees.
Super Bowls.
I think
Super Bowl.
Stafford is the only one I'm on the fence about right now, but I was way more in his corner after that Super Bowl. So if they can have some more success and if he gets back to healthy on the field, then I think I'd be more swayed to
I
give
think
it to him.
I think with the NFL, they just if there's stats that really, really jump off the sheet, I think that's what voters really look at. Like Stafford's career yards is just like, wow.
It's insane.
Yeah, wow. Okay.
Let's get into some picks for this week. You know, one guy I'm really high on, and it's probably an obvious one, is the connection that Aaron Rodgers made with Watson. I think Watson, 2022 rookie, that class is looking better and better. They got a home game this Thursday on Prime Video against the Titans. I think that connection builds, and I am probably buying some Watson cards.
Give me Lamar Jackson.
And going back with Lamar, huh?
I'm always Lamar. I was going to
Well,
make this
they're playing the
argument.
Panthers, so-
I was going to make this argument about the Josh Allen thing. And again, I think Josh Allen has a rebound this week. I think the Bills have a rebound this week, and I still like him more than most quarterbacks. But to me, this season has proven that Lamar Jackson is the most underrated quarterback among collectors. He has been. I saw a stat after that Monday night win a few weeks back that they are, I think, one of like 8 teams in NFL history to hold a double-digit lead in every game through the first 9 games of the season, and every other team on that list was 9-0 to start the season other than them. Yeah. They are way better than the record indicates. He is a superstar. Pay this man, and the Cards' value is going up, but I still think he's super underrated, so give me Lamar and the Ravens until further notice.
I don't know if he's going to play this week, and this is a heck of a take. I'm just curious to see how well he's going to perform on this team with the weapons that surround him. Deshaun Watson coming back with the Browns.
It'll certainly be interesting.
Is he starting this weekend?
I think he can come back to practice. I doubt that he plays this week, but I'm just curious to see how that offense is going to look with Amari Cooper and Donovan Peoples-Jones actually looking really good as well. That running back, I don't think there is a better running back tandem in the league.
Chubb is back the best in the league right now.
Nick Chubb, Kareem Hunt. Defense is good. I mean, Myles Garrett, you can make an argument, is probably the best defender in the league.
I am just
But I'm trying to say is that there is an opportunity here. Watson cards are, I mean,
my only issue
I mean, they've been tanking. For obvious reasons, they've been tanking for a while.
That's why I just wouldn't touch him. I don't care how well he performs. I just think there's a stink on him that's never going to.
I'm not worried about that, as I am worried about that a little bit. But my problem is they're 3-6. They're playing the Bills this week, so they're going to be 3-7. I don't think you can make the playoffs. I don't think you can win out and make the playoffs at 3-7. Not in the AFC. The AFC is stacked. So yeah, Watson may get out there and he might make some highlight plays, but they're not going to make the playoffs.
But they've been competitive.
No, they've been really good
with Jacoby Brissett.
Yeah, and they're
and I think we could all say on the football field, if you were to pick a quarterback to, quarterback your team,
right?
If you have Jacoby Brissett or Deshaun Watson,
of course.
there's a significant talent level that you get with Deshaun Watson. Yeah. I'm curious to see how that offense is going to look.
Certainly curious, at the very least.
Granted, I think you're right. I think they.
But if they win this week, it's a game changer. If they somehow beat the Bills, then Watson's on the radar because 4-6 is back in the thing.
I think you're right that the fact that the Browns needed Brissett just to hover around 500
yeah.
and when Watson comes back, in order for them to make a playoff push. Got close, but just not quite there.
Yeah.